What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the California-only rebuild. We don't really have to say featuring Stanford anymore now that we are into that second season. There's still a lot of Stanford players on the team, and we even brought in a lot in the draft. If you guys didn't see the last episode, we went through the entire offseason, including signing new players, letting people go, and the NFL draft. So a lot of big things happened, a lot of big things took place, and now we're ready for our second season, where hopefully we could build on our first season where we only won 4 games. And if you can't tell, I'm down here in the bottom corner. I decided to throw in a little cam action, especially when we're not in the games. I won't have the cam up when we are in games. It'll just be the game itself. But while we're in the menus, just thought it would be a nice touch. So I will be doing that for this season, and then we'll be bringing it to the Vikings series as well once we get to the next season. Finish out the current season, how we are doing it, and then change it up from there. Also, let me know if you like the little box I put around the cam. I tried to make it look a little bit kind of like some neon, like a purple glow with a little white line. Not sure, might change in the future. Also, beneath me, you'll see the handles for Twitter and TikTok, so feel free to follow me over there. But back to the main thing that you're here for, this series where we're trying to win a Super Bowl with players only from California. In between episodes, if you see up in the top right-hand corner, under where it says David Shaw and has his little icon, our roster is up to 63. I went through and signed basically any California player that could possibly either start for us or go on the practice squad. So now we're up to 63 players. We will have to obviously send some guys, maybe release some guys once we get to the regular season, and we will be getting to that in this episode. We're not going to spend much time in the preseason, mainly because we already know who our starters are. So we're going to sim through these. We'll check out the stats from that, just kind of see who did what, and then we'll get into the actual start of this season with the first game. We'll jump in and watch a bit of that Panthers game. And as we sim on over to the last week of preseason, the bye week, we see we did pretty well in preseason, almost won 2 games. We're just 1 point off of winning that Seahawks game. We did beat the Cowboys, and then only lost by 1 touchdown to the Eagles, so looking promising, and honestly a lot better than the first preseason. Let's just see how in total, I'm not going to look at the individual stats of the games, but just total stats. So for the total of preseason, Brett Hundley obviously played the most. He's going to be our backup quarterback. He had 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on 66% completion percentage, which isn't bad. Did have about 600 yards. Mills, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So that's fantastic because he threw a lot of interceptions in his first season. And sacks, he was only sacked twice. Hundley was sacked 9 times, so not good for the backup lineman. In terms of rushing, Christian McCaffrey ran for about 5.3 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns, a little under 200 yards. Laird had a touchdown on 54 yards. Bryce Love had 20, and then doesn't look like Montgomery got any. And I just want to point out, I did move Montgomery to running back. We had 8 receivers. We didn't really need 8 receivers, only had 3 running backs, so Montgomery is back to playing running back. Unfortunately, he did get injured in the first game. He had 3 carries for no rushing yards, so not that good there. But he should be back, I think, within the first couple weeks of the regular season. That's what it looked like for the rushing. Receiving, Simi Fehoko led us, which is fantastic. I want to see him progress well. He is going to be continue to be our slot receiver, and will be starting there. He had a little under 200, 3 touchdowns, not bad. Hansen, similar but no touchdowns. Nate Gordon, one of our rookies, at 131 and a touchdown. And Junior Generals, our number 1 pick, gets 127 and 3 touchdowns, only 6 catches. So really good from him. Schultz gets over 100. Ertz just under 100. JJ had about 54, did have 54. Parkinson 38, and then a few more down here, but not a whole lot of touchdowns in terms of passing. Most of them going to Fehoko and Generals, our Stanford combo for our receiving core. Up front, we do have a lot of new offensive linemen. Now, these two, Theo Hayes and Cedric Bryan, they're rookies. They were in our last draft. They're not starting this year. This year we're going to basically just be trying to build them up and then eventually possibly take over for some of our older guys. However, both of them, they gave up 3 sacks. Dahlman gave up 2. Schwartz, who I believe is a new one, and Schweitzer, one of those. or maybe none of those. They both gave up 1 sack. Over on defense, we were led by Blake Martinez and Amon Lewis Marshall, who both had 21. In terms of tackles for loss, 4 for Alualua, who I'm pretty sure I've said his name about 87 different times within the first 4 episodes. Solomon Thomas had 3, and then Bobby Okereke and Michael Thomas each had 1 tackle, or not tackles, we already did that, sacks. We had 2 for Solomon Thomas, 1.5 for Griffin, and then half a sack for Alualua, Bobby Okereke, and Casey Toohill, who will be getting the start at left outside linebacker. He played really well the last few games of the last season, and with some guys regressing as they got older, it was the perfect time to start Toohill, so he'll be seeing the field quite a bit more. In terms of interceptions, Lewis Marshall, who will be our slot corner this year, he had 2, and Paulson Adebo, who is our number 1 corner, got another one. He had quite a few in the last season as well. Did we happen to force any fumbles? We did not. Kicking-wise, we did end up keeping Fairburn. He's the only kicker available to us, and he did better than at least the first season. He got all of his extra points and only missed 1 field goal, so not too bad there. And that is all the stats there. So we'll jump over to the first day of the regular season, where we will need to hire and assign scouts. It'll also give us our first look at the players that are going to be available to us in this next draft. And I almost forgot, we actually need to set up our practice squad. So we have 10 extra players. Most of them I'm hoping will just be going to the practice squad. Joe Crawford, he's one that definitely will be. We do not need 4 quarterbacks on the roster. We'll stick with the 3 with Mills, Hundley, and then Hogan. Running backs, and this also kind of just show you everyone we have. Obviously Montgomery not showing up here because injured. We don't have any backup fullbacks. We do have quite a few receivers. If anyone were to be cut, it would probably be Deshaun Jackson, but for now, we'll try to keep all of them. Don't have anyone at the tight end spot. Hodel, he'll be moving to the practice squad. We don't need 4 left tackles. Wall will also be moving there. I basically picked up any young offensive linemen just so that they can continue to develop a little bit. Jesse Burris, another one, because these are the only linemen that really are available to us, so if they're not getting better, we could eventually run into a period where there aren't really any good backups for us. Wilbur will also be moved. We have to move another 5 guys. And I believe we have quite a few safeties that I think we can move around as well, I think. We'll double check. I got 3 DTs, so we'll keep Chambers for now. Middle linebacker... Medlock will probably move to the practice squad. Might need to bring him up later. And then we shouldn't have anyone else there. Corners, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6. I don't think we need 6. We might end up needing to cut someone like Metters. Or maybe even Seymour, as he is the older player with only 1 overall hire. Safety, only 2 free safeties. I know we had a few strong safeties. So Fountain will be moved to the practice squad. So yeah, we do have a couple other guys that we need to move around. I think we're going to end up getting rid of Seymour for right now. May end up having to bring him back later if we need another corner, but we will cut him for now. And I think we will go ahead and cut Deshaun Jackson. Wanted to keep him around, but he's not really in the starting rotation for any of the positions, including kick returner or anything like that. So we will go ahead and cut Deshaun Jackson. He is 35. So if we end up needing another receiver or speed guy out there, we might end up looking to bring him back. And we need to find one other guy to get rid of. And I think we're going to end up getting rid of Cameron Fleming, Stanford guy. Sad to see him go, but we have those 2 backup tackles that I would play before Fleming so they could get some more development. So he's really, again, not in any sort of starting rotation. So we will go ahead and cut Cameron Fleming. Might end up needing to bring him back if we have some injuries or something. But for now, we're down to the correct size. And now we could get over to the regular season. All right, I've already gone through the entire, every single prospect, including undrafted. As you can see, there already are a couple here, to favorite everyone who played at a school in California. So we'll go through each position, just show you what all is available. We only have 1 quarterback. That's Edward Feldman out of USC, potential undrafted. At running back, again, only 1 out of UCLA. It's going to be Philip Agnew. Fullbacks, didn't have any. We have a few receivers, so receiver could be a potential position to have a scout for. Mike Porter from UCLA, Jelani Rucker from San Jose State, Will Tobias from UCLA, Pat Carruthers from UCLA. So basically every starting receiver from UCLA is going to be in this one. And Christian Cole from USC. We have some mid-round picks to late-round picks for tight ends. Only one guy, Kevin Hanna out of California, potential undrafted. There were some linemen, not a lot of very high ranked people, but we have some. Pat Wilkins from California and Daryl Short also from California, both potential undrafted. Bobby Parks from Stanford, though, one of the highest overall projected guys for linemen. He plays at left guard, round 1 to 2. There's center, potential undrafted, Ryan, interesting way of spelling Ryan, Mellon out of USC. At guard, another potential undrafted, Andrew Ruiz, I think it's Ruiz, out of USC. And then at right tackle, there is Luis Guerrero, if you roll the R's, because I think if there's two, you roll them. Not exactly sure. I didn't do great in Spanish. Day 3 projected out of UCLA. And then Kevin Pollard, also out of UCLA, potential undrafted. And there are no right or left ends, but we do have 4 defensive tackles. And since we play a 3-4, that works just fine. So DT will probably be another position for us to take a look at with a scout. The first one being around 1 to 2 Stanford guy, and Tresman Reed, out of Stanford. There is Josh Barton, also out of Stanford, in round 3 to 4. Also in round 3 to 4 is Nicholas Parker out of Cal, and then a day 3 Roman Hightower out of UCLA. At left backer, there is Aries Bradley out of UCLA, potential undrafted. Middle linebacker, also UCLA. Did I say UCLA last time? Was it? I don't know if I did. USC. But middle linebacker, Stephen McCoy, UCLA, round 3 to 4. Then we have a couple right outside linebackers, including a round 1, who I think is the highest projected so far. We've had, I think, 1 to 2. I don't think we've had just a 1 yet. And Nathan Gregory out of UCLA. And then out of USC, potential undrafted, Mitch Simpson. There are a few corners, not very high projected, day 3s and potential undrafted. Jabari Lowell, out of USC. Will Massey, UCLA. And then Enrique Goodman out of San Jose State. And again, just make sure I was actually recording. No free safeties, which is unfortunate. Luckily, we have one good safety that'll be here for a while. Strong safety, Dante Reese out of San Diego State, potential undrafted. No kickers, no punters. So in total, there are 27 potential players that we can draft. If for some reason, because I'm pretty sure we have at least 2 first-round picks, and there are 2 potential first-round guys, Nathan Gregory, and then the Tresman Reed, the Stanford DT, who could play really any. We also have a Stanford guard as well. That's a 1 to 2. So we have some options up top. From there, we could potentially look to trade picks to get a lot of picks for later in the draft, since there's a lot of later round guys, or maybe even trade for other California players that we don't have on our roster currently. Those are different things we could do. So we have a few positions to look at for sure. Receiver, I would like to take a look at. We can maybe do a guard, perhaps. Trying to think what else. DT was a big one for us. So those are 3, and I believe we have 5 scouts. So possibly go with outside backers would be another good one. And then probably just do a corner for our last one. So I will go ahead and set up our scouts to make sure we have everyone that we need. And then I'll let you see who it is that we end up having. And now we have all of our new scouts, and because we could only draft people from California, makes it a little bit difficult with the new way in which you can scout. So with the 2, I think, big groups being DT for us and corner, could always use corners in today's NFL. Those are the 2 that I have in a way that can scout specifically the players that we can draft. So DTs are going to be West, they'll be good, and then corners will be national, so even the guys that we have available to us will fall into that. Unfortunately, for the guards, the backers, and the receivers, there's not much we could do for there. We'll maybe get a little bit of a bonus for having these scouts, but primarily for these positions, we're going to need to most likely select them for the focus scouting and then the off-season workout, or whatever they call it when you actually get to the off-season. So that's how we'll set it up. So for now, we have a corner scout in Tarek Adkins. Richard Seymour will be our DTs. Meg Wilson will be scouting our guards. Mackenzie Quinn, our outside backers. And then Brandon Marshall will be scouting our receivers. And before we can jump into our first game, we have a press conference here. So it's opening day this week and a fresh start for every team around the league, and you'll be facing the Panthers. What's the key to victory? Well, their offense was not very good, so our defense shouldn't have a hard time. So I'm going to say our offense needs to show up. Ideally, we establish a rhythm on offense, dictate the flow of the game, and get a big enough lead to make their offense one-dimensional. That's about what we need to do. Obviously, every offense wants to be balanced. What's your main focus? They were not good in stopping the run, so that's what we're going to focus on. We want to pound the rock. A solid run game is going to limit the opponent's possessions, and the longer we're on offense, the less time they have to score. True. Basically, we just want to get Christian McCaffrey flowing early this season, beat the Panthers, rush for 150-plus yards. That's the goal for this game. And before we jump into the first game of this season, let's take a quick look at our opponents, which will be the Carolina Panthers. Starting off, they have a 99 overall in Jalen Ramsey and a 96 overall in Zach Martin. So some really good players for sure. They're going to be led by a young quarterback, Mac Jones. At running back, they have Cordero Patterson. Behind him, they have a rookie, Tremaine Gant. Andrew Beck will be their fullback if he sees the field much. Marquise Brown is their number 1 receiver, followed by Darrell Mooney. You'll also see a bit of Darius Slayton. At tight end, O.J. Howard. Their offensive line, they have a 72, 76, 69, 96 with Zach Martin, and then a 71. So arguably you could say we have a better offensive line, or very similar in talent. Up front for the defense, they have Jadeveon Clowney. At left end, 87 overall. Montez Sweat the other side, 85 overall. And then Dalvin Tomlinson will be their DT. If they're running a 4-3, would also have Aleem McNeil out there as well. So some big dudes up front for sure, some big strong guys. On the outside, Keanu Neal at left backer, Levante David middle linebacker, and Logan Wilson right backer. So their defense definitely looks to be their strong suit. Jalen Ramsey, like I said, number 1 corner, followed by J.C. Horn. Trey Herndon, who is injured, so they'll have Jonathan Mickle out there, who is a rookie. Will be starting their first game. Deshaun Elliott at free safety, and Julian Love at strong safety. If you care about kicking, Riley Patterson, kicker, and Blake Gilkin at punter. We are jumping in here for the first game. We're not going to be playing this game, just watching bits and pieces as we go. This is the first drive of the game, a chance to see how our offense does, especially with some changes we made during the offseason. First play there goes to Christian McCaffrey on a dive down the middle, gain of 5. Staying out in the shotgun here, which is nice for sure. Give Mills a little bit of extra time to move around, although not looking like it's going to help here. That's going to be a sack, a big sack on second down. Montez Sweat. That's a big loss. A loss of 14. Going to bring up a 3rd and 19 at our own 16. Too many teens in that. And on 3rd and long, we're going to come out here with 2 receivers to the top, a tight end, and another receiver at the bottom. I believe Junior Generals is at the bottom of the screen. However, we're going to go up top. Christian McCaffrey tries to get around one of the linebackers, not able to. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but that is it. Going to bring up a 4th and 10, and we will be punting this one away. We will also be tuning in here to the first possession for our defense as well, our first drive of our defense. The Panthers come out with a run down the middle. They're going to get their own gain of about 4 or 5 on their first carry. Hopefully we could get a sack for a loss of 14 to follow up, as they come out in an empty set. 2 receivers to the top, probably 3 or so down to the bottom. Not a good job there from Cordero, who ran back quite a bit, but I think, yeah, they still end up getting the first. Didn't have great pursuit there. Cordero, first play and second play, gain of 5. 1st and 10 at about the 49-yard line. Still staying out in that shotgun. Handed off to Cordero again. That's going to be a tackle from Bobby Okereke and Hall, who's out there surprisingly. I guess we were out in a dime formation. That would be the only way we'd have a 4th string corner out there. That brings up 2nd and 6. Again, 2 receivers to the top. Another one at the bottom. Doing some play action here. First time they haven't just handed off, and they're chucking it back deep, and I don't think we got our feet in, but that was Paulson Adebo, who almost made a fantastic play. Unfortunately, not a turnover. We'll bring up a 3rd and 6. They're going to have a bunch to the top. They're going to go for a quick pass, but really inaccurate there from Mac Jones. That'll fall incomplete, and they will be punting this one away. Wish our punt animation came as quickly as this one did. They get that one away. We do have Bryce Love still back returning punts this year. He is not our kick returner, but he will be our punt returner. And we'll continue watching here, see if we're able to do anything, get some points on the board. Coming out in a heavy tight end set, 2 to the bottom. Going to send Bodden in motion. And we're going to fake the handoff. It's a bit of play action, dump it off to Bodden, who gets about 6-7 yards. Not a bad play on 1st down. And Mills isn't much of a down-the-field style quarterback. His deep throw accuracy isn't fantastic, but mostly it's his arm strength that kind of limits a little bit of what he can do. But he does find Schultz here, who gets the 1st down and more. Going to bring us down to the 30 as we come out in a shotgun formation. 2 receivers at the bottom, 1 to the top. And we're going to hand it off to McCaffrey, who's going to get maybe a couple. It was a good job by the linebacker there. I believe that was David, to read it and follow. And really, we didn't get any blockers to the linebacker's level. And on 2nd and 9, sticking out in that shotgun formation. Looks like we have Junior Generals is off the screen at the bottom. Again, our rookie receiver. That might be who we're going to. Nope, Fehoko gets this one. Holds on to it after taking the hit from, I think that was J.C. Horn. Going to get a gain of about 3, bringing up a 3rd and 6. And on 3rd and 6, we have a bunch to the top. And I can't tell who's at the bottom. Looks like that was Ertz. We're going to get the completion this time to... That's Junior Generals. His first reception as an NFL receiver goes for a 1st down, gain of 10, bringing us to the 45. And on 1st down, we're going to come out with a 2 tight end formation, both of them to the top of the offensive line. And then 1 receiver split either side. Going to hand off to McCaffrey, who kind of wished went a little bit more to the outside there, but still going to get forward for a gain of 6 yards on the 1st down run. 2nd effort definitely helped him out there for sure. And come out 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Sending McCaffrey out of the backfield. We're going deep the other way. And that one was almost picked off by Horn. Simi Fehoko did a great job of playing defense on that one, forcing him out of bounds. As on 3rd and 4, come out with a bunch to the top. Going to be a pass here. And we're going to find an open number 19. That is J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his first reception of the year. And we will have J.J. and Junior Generals as our outside receivers this year. And then Simi Fehoko will come in the slot. That was a nice route run there, too. And Horn wears actually 8, so I guess number 5 would be Ramsey here. So Ramsey's been the one making the plays on the outside, not Horn. We do come out in an ace formation, a pistol ace formation. We're going to find a wide open Generals again for another about 10-11 yards and a 1st down. Looking pretty solid so far in his first game, getting open and holding on to the ball, because he's gotten hit pretty quickly after getting it most of the time. Simi Fehoko gets a gain of about 2, 3. They're actually going to say 4. I'll take the 4. And that is the end of the first quarter. Game is still tied at 0, but our second drive doing much better than the first. And to start this second quarter here, we're at the 27, 2nd and 6. Going to have, I think there was probably 2 receivers to the bottom, but we're going to hand it off to McCaffrey down the middle. Gets a gain of 3-ish yards. I did say I wanted them to run outside, and I haven't seen much outside run so far. But of course, we do still need the 150 plus rushing yards to get that game plan that we set up. And there's the first drop from Junior Generals. It was in tight coverage. Unfortunately, that was on third down. We will bring out Fairburn for the field goal attempt here, kicking about a 41-yarder. And this one's good. Going to be the first points of the season. Fairburn down maybe the middle, somewhere in between the uprights. And that's really all that matters. We'll jump into a little bit of a quicker sim here for the second quarter. And on 3rd and 7, forced to incompletion. So we will be getting that back, but there was a penalty, 4th and 2. They still punt it. We will be getting that 14-yard return for Bryce Love. First down, handed off to Christian McCaffrey. Again, we need 150 plus rushing yards. We get the first down, or should be close to the first down. However, apparently it wasn't. Junior General, those back for 15. He's done, again, pretty well. That's his fourth attempted pass target. He had caught 3 of them. Another one. So far, all of his passes have been for 10 plus yards. Christian McCaffrey losing yards here. 2nd and 12. Gets those 2 back plus another 2. 3rd and 9. Touchdown, Simi Fehoko. No idea what that touchdown looked like, but really good to see. Want to see him and Junior Generals really take off this year. However, Panthers have the ball, gain of 5 on the first 2 downs. 3rd and 5. Darius Slayton gets in for 12. And they'll continue. Big gain here, 24 yards. Hollywood Brown, another 6 for Cordero Patterson. They're getting close to the red zone. I think they might be in it now. Another 7 yards for Cordero. 2nd and 3. Going to give him a first down with a 4-yard rush. 8 more. He's looking like the best running back on the field today so far. And they're in, and they get the extra point. Going to bring this game a little closer, 10-7, just under 2 minutes remaining in this first half here. Davis Mills will throw that incompletion. We saw a lot of those. First-year Junior General's first catch for not a first down and a throwaway on 4th. We'll be punting it away with about a minute and a half remaining. Another big one here for Marquise Brown, 13 yards. Thrown away, Mac Jones. Big one, Darrell Mooney, 23 yards. Going to get them close to field goal range, a little under a minute remaining. Going to be a penalty on Bobby Okereke. 1st and 10. They're down to about the 7th. And that's a touchdown. Going to put them in front 14-10 with this extra point. About 38 seconds left in the first half. Can we make anything happen right before half here? Thrown away. We've seen that quite a bit. And interception. Jalen Ramsey followed up by a touchdown. We were in the lead for a good portion of this first half, but comes crashing down late in the first. And they're now down 21-10. 19 seconds left. Looks like we're going to head into halftime, which we do. And we'll jump in here to start the second half here. And we're down 21-10. Defense started off pretty well at the first, quarter. But then second quarter, not good. And gave up 21, I think, points. In the second quarter, might have just been 14. But either way, we had the lead, and that went down. And I do not know why it's flashing. On 2nd and 7, they bring out a bunch to the top of the screen. We make an adjustment ourselves. They're going to be passing the ball here down the middle. Almost intercepted. Bobby Okereke does a nice job of at least breaking that one up. Going to bring up a 3rd and, I guess you could say long. I feel like it kind of varies a little bit. I think of long as like 3rd and 10 plus. I would say this is more 3rd and medium, but each person I feel kind of has their own view on that. They go for a dump off to the outside. And that will be a stop on 3rd down. Going to bring up a 4th and 5. They should be punting it, and hopefully we could bounce right back with a touchdown on offense. And similarly to the start of this game, we'll watch at least a possession of both sides and then maybe get into a little bit of some quicker sim. First down, we go Christian McCaffrey, who doesn't find the edge there. 55 does a nice job of flowing over and getting the stop basically at the line of scrimmage. Not a gain of really anything noticeable on first down. And on 2nd down, come out with a bunch to the top of our formation here. See what we do. Looks like it's going to be a play action. Davis Mills has time. He throws. And, that was almost picked off. Was intended for JJ. But the hit timed perfectly. Knocks that one loose. And unfortunately, looks like Ramsey's in the zone right now as well. He's lined up more on our slot guy. And we have a wide open Junior Generals. Oh, if that was thrown just a little bit better, that could have been a huge touchdown. However, we'll take the first down. I believe that was even on third down. 6 receptions, 84 yards on the day for Junior Generals. His first NFL game. And to follow that up, we're going to come out with a 2 tight end set to the top of the line. We're going to go for another pass here. We're going to find a wide open Generals again. Does a great job of crossing the linebackers, and Mills just waits for that perfect window, and he finds it. Another first down for Generals, getting close to 100 yards on the day, maybe even past that. I don't remember if I said the 84 before or after that big chunk. But either way, we're down to the 22. So far, things running pretty well. Going to knock on wood real quick. We're going to hand it off McCaffrey down the middle, and a nice job by number 95. Just defeats the block, waits, and gets the tackle. Only a gain of 2. Could have been, and arguably should have been, a lot more. Quick pass, we're going to find Ertz. Gets forward for about a gain of 5-ish. Gain of 4. And bring up a 3rd and 4. As they come out, the Panthers come out in a double A gap look. They're going to drop out of that, though. And good block pickup by McCaffrey, and we end up fumbling it. That should have been thrown about a half a century ago. Luckily, we pick it up. It'll at least get us a field goal attempt here. Little is the one that picked that up to get forward for a gain of something. Well, not really a gain, but less of a loss. And once again, we'll call on Fairburn. Again, looks like it's going to be about a 41-yard field goal. He made one earlier in the game. And he made this one, so brings it back to at least a 1-score game. We're down 8. Would like to be a bit closer. We'll jump into a little bit of a quicker sim here. 3 yards on first down for Cordero Patterson, then loses them in the next down. I wish that I saw who got that tackle. Unfortunately, Blake Martinez penalty. Another 3 yards following for Cordero. Gets another 4. Going to bring up a 3rd and 3. Big first down, Marquise Brown. 19, 7 for Darrell Mooney. And they're getting close to it. Basically at the goal line again, Marquise Brown and sack Alualua. Going to be a loss of 4. However, Marquise Brown right back, touchdown. Going to put them up 28-13 with a little over a quarter remaining. Coming into this game, I thought our defense would do fairly well against their offense, but it's not looking like the case. Christian McCaffrey gets forward here on first down, gain of about 6-7 yards, only 35 yards on the day. So doesn't look like we're going to be getting that 150 plus unless we get a huge chunk a couple of times for sure. Davis Mills chucking it deep. And almost caught by Generals. That was almost an amazing play. It was also almost picked off at the same time. 3rd and 3, however. We're going to fake the handoff. And looks like this will be a sack. Nope, throwaway right at the very end. Those play actions is not seeming to line up very well for us. Or our guys not getting open in time, at least. And we'll see if our defense can do anything here. Not starting off well on the first down. Gain of 13. We do get the tackle in the backfield. Mooney takes that all back plus an extra yard. And pass knocked away by Bobby Okereke. All right, at least we forced something there. Hopefully our offense can get some points on the board. We don't have a whole lot of time remaining. We will be coming out in an empty set. Have 2 receivers to the top. The rest of them at the bottom. We go for a quick pass. Going to be Generals on a drag route. Who tried to fight forward, but only gets about 7-8 yards on first down. We need to try to just run up to the line as quickly as we can. We don't have a whole lot of extra time here, especially being down 2 possessions. And we don't get the catch there. Ertz not able to hold on to it. Pass knocked away. Come out again in an empty set. I have 3 receivers to the top. Generals looks like he's all the way up at the top. Go for the quick pass. We're going to find McCaffrey, who is definitely a threat in the passing game. And if he doesn't do much in the running game, I'd like to see him do a bit more in the passing. Just not exactly sure how you could really set that up in Madden. Just doesn't really seem like much of an option, really, unless they just happen to do it. But first down is key. Help us try to get a touchdown here as we get close to midfield. Looks like we are going to be at about the 49. So past midfield, barely, about the length of a football. Come out in a tight formation here. We're going to dump it off again. General's underneath. Looks like they maybe were trying to strip that, but he holds on to it. Gets a gain of 7 on first down. About 5 minutes remaining in this game. We need to hurry up a bit. Try to see what we could do here. Have the tight bunch at the top. Going to check down. Schultz gets the first down to the 37. 20 for 30 on the day is Mills. I mean, not awful. That interception that was almost returned for a touchdown definitely hurt us. Game would be a bit closer if that wasn't what happened for sure. If not, it could have even been tied. We're going to come out here in an empty set, though. 3 receivers to the top, rest to the bottom. Go for a quick pass. Junior Generals again, first down, gain of about 11, 12 yards. We need to be hurrying this up. Come on, guys, hurry it up. Now looking at about 4 minutes remaining. We're at the 26. Like a shot to the end zone here pretty soon. And not going to happen there. However, Ertz gets close to the first, down to the 19. Going to bring up a 2nd and 3. About 3.5 minutes remaining. And we go for a quick pass. That could have, should have, and probably would have been intercepted if I think it was the linebacker, had any awareness that the ball was thrown. However, we'll take the first down to the 8. Have that bunch to the bottom. And a fumble. It was close to a passing motion, but that fumble will basically go ahead and seal this game. A little under 3 minutes remaining, down 2 scores. I don't see much hope for us remaining here. Honestly, it looks like Mills just dropped it before he even got touched. That looked almost as bad as the OU quarterback from like 10 years ago, who just chucked it backwards before getting sacked. And we get a -3 on first down, followed by 9, and then big chunk. It didn't even tell us how it happened, but big chunk to the other side of the field. Under 2 minutes remaining, 3rd and 4. We get the stop. Should be a field goal attempt here, and it's good. Basically, this game is over. So we'll go ahead and speed this up to get to the end. Unfortunately, we will not be getting the victory during our first game. We had some good moments. Junior Generals definitely looks like he is our #1 receiver that will lead us in the future, but we need some bits and pieces at other places. We need our Mills to stop fumbling and to throw away the ball if there's nothing open, because he just sat there and took a couple sacks that he really shouldn't have. Passing yards, though, were close. They had 251, we had 249. However, we had about 120 yards off in rushing than what we needed to get the bonus for, or whatever the bonus would have been. But we needed 150, definitely didn't get it. We will be dropping this first game 31-13. And I'm not sure how we didn't get it done. Felt like we had a good week of practice, but it's clear we need to be better, to do more, and get a W, which definitely, it's only game 1. We'll get things figured out, and we'll be in the win column soon enough. I sure hope so. I promise 7 wins for this season. Unfortunately, week 1 didn't really go our way. We had some good moments for sure. Definitely like what I saw from Junior Generals. Needed the defense to step up a bit, and the offensive line I was hoping would have taken a step forward with a lot of the guys we brought in. Didn't quite see it there, but still a lot of football to go through. So we'll probably spend the next 2 weeks, Texans and Raiders. Probably watch a little bit of that Bengals game before we wrap up this episode. And unfortunately, the next 2 weeks, we don't get a victory either. We lose by 6 in both the next 2 games against the Texans and the Raiders. Texans, we lost 25-19. Raiders, 34-28. So we'll jump in and take a look. But one thing I can say, we're scoring more points each game. So that's good to see. Take a look at the stats specifically. Zach Wilson throws 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So we did get 2 picks, which is nice. And 1 sack. Unfortunately, Mills throws an interception and gets sacked 5 times. Not very good there. Rushing-wise, Henderson runs pretty well, 5 yards a carry on us. Felton Jr. gets a little under 5 yards a carry on us. Patrick Laird gets a lot more rushing attempts than McCaffrey. Didn't say he got injured, so maybe he was injured during the game. I'm not exactly sure. Only 5 rushing attempts for McCaffrey. But it does look like Simi Fehoko got a rushing touchdown, so that's good. Receiving-wise, Dante Harris led both teams, 98 yards and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson had 79 yards, no touchdowns. Generals had 76, so consistent, high volume receiver for us so far. Ertz had 75. Fortunately, Goddard for them got a touchdown. Tight ends always do well against my teams. Devontae Smith for them also got a touchdown. And then 42 for JJ. Simi Fehoko got 41. But fortunately, no touchdowns. Blocking-wise, Walker Little gave up 3 sacks. Not good. Andres Pete and Andre James also gave up a sack for us. No sacks given up for them, so not good there. Tackles, we'll just look at our stats here. Moreau led us in tackles, which is not good. You don't want one of your corners leading the team in tackles. Tackles for loss, we had 1 from Solomon Thomas. And it looks like we had half a sack for Solomon Thomas and Harrison Phillips. I'm assuming that was probably on a screen pass, which is why it showed that none of their guys gave up any sacks. Then we had 2 picks. Justin Reed gets 1 and Paulson Adebo gets 1. And by chance, did we happen to force any fumbles? We did. Paulson Adebo forced 1. Yep, forced 1, and he recovered it as well. So good for him. The Dogs are also celebrating it, and it looks like Fairburn did end up missing a field goal. We still would have lost by 3, but we don't need him missing. Unfortunately, he seems to miss fairly regularly. In the Raiders game, again, scored the most amount of points that we have so far, 28. We had 447 offensive yards, so things look to be getting better. In this one, Davis Mills goes for 2 touchdowns, does still have the 1 interception, but no sacks. Aaron Rodgers, no touchdown, 1 interception, and we sacked him once, so defense seems to have played fairly well against him, at least in that standpoint. Josh Jacobs, a little under 100 yards, no touchdowns. McCaffrey, 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. However, Ramondre Stevenson, I feel like in every time he's a backup running back, he always plays well against my teams. I don't know why. He gets 52 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Christian Kirk gets a rushing touchdown for the Raiders as well. So it looks like it's primarily just the rushing that destroyed us in this game. Receiving-wise, Junior Generals goes for 161 yards and a touchdown on 10 receptions. So glad we picked him up. JJ also gets 86 and a touchdown. Kirk was their highest guy, 82 yards. Ertz had 74 for us. Anything else down the line? Not really, so really, really looking good for Junior Generals, that's for sure. Blocking-wise, Deion Dawkins gave up the sack for them, none for us. Defense, Bobby Okereke led us in tackles with 12, followed by Martinez. Again, just look at our stats here. We had quite a few tackles for a loss in this game. 2 to Solomon Thomas, and then 1 for Okereke, Martinez, Lewis Marshall, Phillips, Griffin, and Hall. Hall's getting a fair amount of playing time, considering he's our 4th corner. Sack-wise, Everson Griffin got the sack. And interceptions, Blake Martinez. Again, did we happen to force any fumbles? We have some big hitters on the team. No fumbles forced today. Kicking, we did get all of the extra points. No field goals were even kicked from Fairburn. Still lost this game, unfortunately, by 6, but definitely seeing some progression. And Junior Generals is killing it to start this season. Now it's time, though, to jump into this Bengals game. We'll probably sim on into the 4th quarter and then watch from there. And no, don't want to exit. But yeah, I'll run through this other stuff here, and then we'll get into this game. And it looks like we have a breakout thing happening here. So, man, Junior Generals took our last game over and couldn't be stopped. Are you ready to see me go off like that today? Yeah, let's challenge JJ. We need to see him step up as one of our outside guys. Don't ask me, show me. When opponents are watching film of our offense, make them terrified of how they're going to defend you both. Definitely would be nice. I guess it's time to put on a show then. You'll call my number and you won't regret it. I'm ready to have a huge day. I'm pretty sure the Eagles fans are too. I like it. The more guys we have making plays, the more it boosts the confidence of our entire offense and helps everyone contribute. Facts. Wide receiver Junior Generals has earned 25,000 not 25,000, 2,500 experience for inspiring a teammate. Get J.J. Arcega-Whiteside 150 plus receiving yards against the Bengals. Doubt that's going to happen, but you know. Bonus goal. Touchdowns with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside will give him bonus rewards if his goal is completed. A lot on the line here. And we are jumping in here to the fourth quarter. We're currently down 20-14, only 4 seconds into the fourth. A touchdown here would give us the lead. We're going to dump it off here to Christian McCaffrey. He's going to get forward for about a gain of 6-ish. Yeah, I'm going to say exactly a gain of 6. 1,000 passing yards this season already for Mills. It is week 4, so you would kind of hope so. He'd be averaging at least 250 a game. We'll follow up second down with 2 receivers to the top and bottom. Staying a lot of shotgun this season. Going to quick pass, incomplete. 32 did a nice job of breaking that one up. Intended for Zach Ertz. Bring up a 3rd and 4. And we've only had 131 passing yards today, so don't think JJ is going to get that boost. Pass out of a sack. Fortunately, no one's there to pick that one up. 11 for 26 on the day is Mills. We'll watch the defense here as well. Bengals come out, 2 tight ends to the top, 2 receivers at the bottom. They're going to hand it off down the middle. They're going to get a gain of about 6-ish yards. So that's DeAndre Swift, who's had a pretty good game. 19 carries, 94 yards. Seems like we're struggling a little bit in terms of run defense, at least to start this season. They're going to find Swift again, this time on a dump-off pass. This time, first down, though. Also, I think close to a gain of about 6-ish yards. And on first down, coming out in a weak formation here. Got a tight end to the top, fullback bottom. And they're going to have a wide open number 18. Adebo was not anywhere close to him. Justin Herbert, their quarterback, 25 of 41, 2 touchdowns on the day. And Judy was who they found, and he's having himself a pretty good game so far. And on first down, they have 2 receivers to the top. Looks like a tight end and another receiver to the bottom here. They're going to run a draw. And we do a pretty good job stuffing that one. Looks like that was Harrison Phillips who gets the tackle after a gain of 1. And they'll follow that up with going empty set, 3 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Have about 5 minutes remaining in this game. They're going to find what I'm assuming is a tight end, number 89. Disley gets the first down. And apparently we're putting on our aggressive strip ball coaching thing. Doesn't work there. Not a first down, but a good chunk on first down. 21 carries, 100 yards. Wow. Keep mixing those up. Strong formation here, or strong eye kind of formation. Going to go right down the middle, and we didn't have anyone there. Toohill slows him down, and I think that's Richard Sherman gets the tackle. They're down to the 13, about 4 minutes remaining. Things looking a little tough for us early this season. And on first down at the 13, they have enough space to get another first down before the goal line. They dump it off. Swift does a good job. He's a really good receiving back that I've seen, at least in terms of what Madden likes to use him as. They'll follow that up on 2nd and 3 with a strong formation. Hand it off again, and that time I believe it's Solomon Thomas, possibly in the backfield, or about at the line, or not Thomas, that was Everson Griffin. I definitely should have known 97. But no, they get the tackle at least close to the line of scrimmage. They're going to bring up a 3rd and 3, a little under 3 minutes remaining. And on 3rd and 3, they'll have 2 receivers to the top. They might have they definitely have another guy off the screen at the bottom. See what they do here. They go for a quick pass, or we're attempting to. And they're going to have a slant break open way late, and that's going to put them up with not a whole lot of time. 2 possessions. I didn't see who that was who scored. But that's going to put them up 27-14 with just over 2 minutes remaining. And in fact, they'll be going for it instead. Being up 12 not good enough. They want to go up 14. They hand it off down the middle. McKinley was there. Not there in time, though. 2-point conversion good. Going to put them up by 14. We would need 2 touchdowns in about 2 minutes just to tie this game. We'd be looking for a miracle right about now to make this a game. We're going to come out with 3 receivers to the top. See what we can do here. Check it off to McCaffrey. I don't think that's going to get us much. He breaks 1 tackle and stumbles around to about the 27. And it looks like an injury, maybe a linebacker for the Bengals, Quinn, on that play. We'll stop the clock for us, though. Unfortunately, looks like he is headed to the locker room, so not a good sign for him. But at least they will most likely be getting the victory here today. We go for another quick pass, this time to Schultz for a gain of about 4 or 5. It looks like we'll be heading into the 2-minute warning here. Now with just 2 minutes remaining, we need 2 touchdowns. That's just a tie. 3rd and 1. What do? Quick pass. Incomplete. Probably should have went for McCaffrey on that. He seemed to be the only one who had his head turned around. But on 4th and 1, looks like we are going for it in a goal line formation. I don't agree with this play call, but it looks like it works. Get the first down with McCaffrey, who has had 12 rushes, 55 yards. We're trying to run some no huddle here. Chucking it deep. And almost brought in, I think that was McCaffrey? I couldn't tell what receiver that was. It wasn't Generals. I'm not sure who that was out there. Generals is at the top of the screen now. Go for a quick pass. Montgomery out there at slot. Interesting, considering he is a running back. Did it mess up my setting or my depth chart whenever Montgomery came back? Did it take out Fehoko? I need to double check that after this game. Unfortunately, Andres Pete for us shaken up on that play. We have some decent guys behind him, but not as high overall as he. On 1st and 10, a minute 28 remaining. Come out in a tight formation here. Gonna dump it off to McCaffrey, who you would like to have just ran straight out of bounds. But instead, he cuts back in. We're trying to run some no huddle here. Now at about a minute remaining. And again, dumping off again. McCaffrey, I mean, we're getting first downs, but at this point, we need some chunk plays. Now under 50. Or at least at the 24. Dump off again, McCaffrey. We should just change the name. Los Angeles Dump Off McCaffreys. Let me know what you think of that name in the comments section below. At least want to get one more touchdown today. That looks like, yeah, that one's passed to just avoid the sack. 22 seconds remaining. Definitely need to update that depth chart once we get out of this game. And there's a flag on this first down. Ertz gets down to about the 3, but this one probably is going to be backing up. That's going to be holding on Schweitzer, who came in, I believe, for Andres Pete. That'll leave us with 3rd and 13, 18 seconds left, 1 timeout remaining. And honestly, not a bad pass. Wish Generals held on to it, but doesn't look to be the case. We will go for it here, 4th and 13. Just playing for pride at this point, and offsides, or false start. And that was on DeCastro, who was our highest overall lineman. 4th and 18 now from the 31. And incomplete. This game is a wrap. We are going to lose this one following a kneel down here. 28-14. We will unfortunately be starting this season off 0-4, similarly to how we did last year. Except last year, I don't think the first games were as close as these have been. But yeah, we do drop this one 0-4. Don't think we got anywhere close to the yardage we needed for JJ, so no boost will be going to him. But hopefully, we've seen some improvement this episode, and hopefully that will carry on over. However, we gave up 305 passing yards, 157 rushing, while only getting 52 rushing and 185 passing. So definite improvements that still need to be made. But we're definitely seeing some players step up, which is really all you have to hope for with this kind of series. And next episode, we will be jumping into week 5, 6, 7, and 8. Finish up close to what would be the first half of the season. Fortunately, like I said, not starting off hot here, 0-4. Luckily, the rest of our division isn't doing too great. Broncos are 1-3, Raiders 2-2. Chiefs are doing pretty good, 4-0. But we have some time to move on up, and we're progressing a bit. Junior Generals had a fantastic episode. Definitely will be a thumbnail guy today. But yeah, a lot to look forward to. Still a lot to get better. Obviously, 0-4. But I hope you guys are enjoying this series. And if you like having this face cam thing down here, let me know down in the comment section below. If not, I don't have to continue doing it. Just let me know. And also let me know how you're enjoying this series. If you're also enjoying the Vikings series, if you haven't checked that out, I suggest you do. I have playlists all on my channel for it. But that is the end of this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. And then until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.